Welcome, everyone. This is Joe Dagger, the host of the Business 901 podcast. With me today is Lisa Bodell. She is an award-winning author and CEO of FutureThink. As a futurist and expert on the topic of change, she serves as a global council member of the World Economic Forum and has helped thousands of senior leaders ignite innovation at Bloomberg, Pfizer, Lockheed Martin, and many others. Her new book is Why Simple Wins, and it has just been released. Lisa, thanks for joining me. I have to say, I went to Amazon to look for a few bad reviews, okay, to get some meat in my questions, and I couldn't find any. And either you have an awful lot of friends, or it's been very well received. Thanks for joining me.
No, thank you. And I'm glad you didn't find any bad reviews. That's excellent. We want to go for those 5-star reviews, which is great. Thank you for having me today.
Tell me a little bit about FutureThink and yourself, sort of that elevator speech to start out here.
Sure. So FutureThink is a company I started 20 years ago, and I have the absolute core belief that everyone has the power to innovate, but they need to know how. And I'm from the Midwest. I'm a very practical, tactical person. And after having taught innovation for many, many years, I started in advertising. I'm now a recovering ad agency person. Then I moved into starting a .com and did that whole shtick for a while. And then I started my own business, FutureThink, and the idea was help people really embrace change, right? And what I realized over the course of many years is that people have the desire to change, but they don't know how to do it. And there are big things that are holding them back. And those big things are meetings and emails. And so what I want to be able to help people do is create that space for change and innovation to happen. And simplicity was the way to really do it. So my company teaches innovation and teaches simplicity to help people really embrace change in better ways. And we are very practical at how we approach it. So no lofty PowerPoints, no big thought leadership stuff. We are very tool-based to help people get their jobs done.
Was there a moment that you had that, that aha moment that I'm going to take simplification head on? And,
yes.
And is that how it happened?
Yeah, I'll tell you how it happened, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the book too, like the irony about the book. So, I mentioned that we teach innovation and change, and about 5 years ago, myself and my trainers were getting incredibly frustrated with teaching these courses to people because the very executives, you'll like this, I'm sure you've experienced this. The very executives that were bringing us in to teach change were the very ones that were holding us back from doing it when we got there, right? Teach change, but not that much, right? Color a picture of the future, but within these lines because they wanted to control it. And, you could see the people working for them were really frustrated. They'd go, yeah, we got to learn innovation. Yeah. And so even though they were getting the training, even though they were being told to do it and being measured to do it, nothing was changing in companies, right? I mean, everyone talked about it, but little was being done. And I wanted to know why. And I started asking people a really interesting question. I said to them, what do you spend your day doing? And everyone answers the exact same way. Meetings and emails. That's what they spend their day doing. And so I thought, here they're being told to innovate, but they're bogged down in meaningless work. So innovation was fine to teach, but until we simplified stuff, no one was going to get to the innovation. It was just this empty talk. So that led me to the Simplicity book. I will tell you, it is not without irony that writing a book on simplicity is the most complex thing I have ever done. Right? I mean, because it's that thing. Everyone knows it when they see it, and they want to experience it. They know how it feels, but they can't really define it. They're not really sure what it is or in service of what, except making things easier. So, doing the research on this book, which, I know we'll want to get into, so I'll just kind of kick this off. It was really easy to find information on complexity, right? I mean, your background in terms of lean, et cetera, how things are complex, but finding stuff on simplicity is very difficult. Even the definition of it, the process for it, a lot of the processes even that people had come up with were 20-step programs. So I really wanted to take a fresh approach to it. Like, think of this as a simpler way to do change management. I'll tell you what's been fascinating to me is the personal response I get from people versus the professional response. People literally want to hug me like a therapist when I talk to them about simplification, right? Because it's really personal. They experience it every day. It sucks up their time. It drains their energy and emotion. And if someone can help them simplify, it's personal because it's so satisfying to them. So I have great, great hope for this book. I think it's going to touch people in many ways.
It's a great book and one of the better ones I've read on simplification. And,
Thank you.
And the reason for it is the practicality of it.
Yes. Yes. Practicality is sexy again. Don't you love that?
I mean, yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
all the people listening here, I mean, I love what you told me before we started today. You said this audience is really practical, and I just wanted to burst out and hug you for that. I mean, it's amazing, because for so long you go out and you hear people with these lofty speeches and these 40,000 foot thought leadership stuff. You know what? People don't have time for that anymore. They need to get stuff done. So practical is sexy again, because speed, it's about speed, not scale anymore. And being practical and getting stuff done, that's where the speed comes from. So these listeners, right, these are the people that get it done. So I'm happy to be here and talk to them.
What is upcoming for you, and what's the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
So 2 things that are upcoming. One is we just launched the toolkit that goes separately with the book. FYI, it's also on Amazon. But I really believe in the practicality, and I want to give people the tools so they can get the toolkit that comes with the book. That just launched, so we're excited about that. And then the next thing is we're launching our course that goes with it. So people sometimes, they're not self-starters. They want to have that kickstart. So we're launching these half-day, full-day programs that actually ignite the tools in the book, so then people can take them back to their teams, and that'll roll out next year. You can please contact me. I am at Lisa Bodell on Twitter. Our website is futurethink.com. And you can contact me email-wise at innovate@futurethink.com. And that'll get to me, and I'm happy to answer questions all day long about simplification. I'm passionate about it.
Enjoyed the book tremendously. Like I've said earlier, it's one of the better books on simplification I've read. So I congratulate you on that.
Huge compliment, really huge compliment, because I know your background, and if I can please the folks like this, like yourself and the others on this podcast, I feel like that's a personal win. So thank you very much.
Well, this podcast will be available on the Business 901 iTunes Store and the Business 901 blog site. So I would like to thank everyone for listening, and thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much.